to respond will be if it didn't happen. So now I can question you, what could have saved this disaster? Any idea what could have done better to avoid this? Where we were lacking, in fact, where we were putting wrong in terms of project management, what could have done better in that?
Change the route of that ship, the speed or
negligence.
Communication gap.
Communication. Because somebody thrown a warning, but not knowing whether it has been properly received or understood or not. Communication. Changing a route is somehow closer to what I am expecting in fact. Changing a route is a kind of mitigation plan. Okay? But I am expecting a proper project management terminology for that. What's that? Let's see. Yes, importance of communication management. There is a rule of thumb for communication that sender always asks receiver that have you received my message and have you understood it properly or not? There was no proper communication plan in practice. Number one. Number two, value of risk management. They never ever thought that there is a risk of accident. Something can hit the ship. Okay, if it hits, this is the risk. And what is the mitigation plan? Change the route is one of the mitigation. If it hits, do we have enough life-saving boats and jackets? So they did not have a proper risk management and communication. Believe it or not, if you are there to prove somebody that it's always worth to invest in project management, I think these two sides are good enough. Believe it or not. This is something you can say that your project is your Titanic. If you don't want to sink your project, you need to have a proper project management methodology, tools, and techniques in place. So, the second lesson from Rita's video clip was process. In fact, a sequence of process. First of all, we need to initiate, then we need to plan, then we need to execute, then we need to monitor and control just to see whether things are heading into the right direction or not. If they are heading into the right direction, okay, good, job done. If they are not heading into the right direction, then what we need to do? We need to take some corrective and preventive action. Replan, re-execute, re-monitor and control. This loop continues unless we terminate the activity or we successfully close it out. This is a sequence of them.
क्या ये प्लानिंग जो है वो पहला स्टेप नहीं होना चाहिए? At first we plan the project, then we initiate it, and then execute and monitor.
No, you are right, but you need to understand what is initiation then. Okay, what is initiation? Initiation is okay. We need a software. Do we have enough money in our pocket? Yes, we do. Okay, go for planning. Initiation is your feasibility report and all that, cost benefit analysis, and your project chart and all that. Okay, so the circumstances, your finance and all that is available, yes, go for the plan. This is where the real life of a project manager begins. Initiation में अगर आप if you look at the slides in crash course of project management body of knowledge as well, there are very few processes that fall under initiation, very few in fact. For example, writing a project charter probably is the only thing that you will find in this process. Project charter is again a formal authorization to start a project. But the real life begins here. Sir.
So what is this monitoring and controlling, and doesn't it go in parallel with the execution?
Yes, this is what it is showing in there. You plan, you execute. While you are executing, you are monitoring as well.
Right.
Okay, if things are not going according to the plan, then you need to take corrective and preventive action.
Right.
For corrective and preventive, you cannot blindly take preventive and corrective actions. You need to properly plan your preventive and corrective actions. Means you need to replan, you need to re-execute, you need to monitor and control. Okay? Is this clear now?
And if it is going fine, so keep executing.
If it is fine, execute. One is monitoring and the other is control. Monitoring, okay. Executing के बाद execute किया आपने ये plan बना के लेके आया मेरे पास. जब एक तो बन रहा था, एक तो मैं monitor कर रहा था. Whether am I doing it correctly? If not, okay, ये कलर गलत था, ये चीज गलत. और जब controlling का क्या है, okay, now execute करके आपने मुझे दिया finally. जब ये execute हो रहा था, तो I was continuously monitoring and controlling. ठीक है? और जब ये execute होने के बाद आए, तो finally भी इसको मैं इसको monitor करूँगा कि whether have I made it correctly according to the specification? Yes, and then start your process. Okay. If it is not acceptable, so you need to take corrective action, preventive action. You to replan, re-execute, re-monitor and control. Clear?
Yes.
So, these are the 9 knowledge areas. Okay, what are those integration? What is integration? Putting all the pieces together. ठीक है, अगर आपने ये टेबल ही संबल करना था, ये चीजें तो बनी पड़ी हैं जब तक आपको as long as you don't put these pieces together, ये टेबल की शेप नजर नहीं आएगी. What are the points of integration and scope? Now, please remember the processes that I mentioned in my last slide, they are all applied to these knowledge. For scope, you need to plan, you need to execute, you need to monitor and control, you need to close it out. For all these. Time, you need to plan, the cost for you to plan all that. So, what are the 9 knowledge areas? Integration, scope, time, cost, quality, HR, communication, risk, and control. Scope. In fact, मैं आपको कहता एक सॉफ्टवेयर बना के लेके आएंगे MIS, ओके? बट नाउ उसमें कौन-कौन से एरियाज, एक ERP सिस्टम ही हमें बनाने जा रहे हैं. उसमें कौन-कौन से एरियाज कवर होंगे? HR, MS जो है, क्या does this fall within the scope or not? Right, the boundaries for that project is your scope. Your requirement specification comes under it, by the way. Your test cases, user test cases, they also come in scope verification.
The particular outcomes you want in the
Yes. What are your specifications is your scope? Scope of the project. Okay.
So if you can kindly explain the risk management and communication management. What documents are prepared and what is that?
Okay. Let me quickly take you through that. Risk management. Risk. What is risk? Risk is uncertainty about anything. An event that may or may not happen, may not occur. Risk of failure, it does not mean that if you have a risk of failure, you will definitely fail. It may happen or it may happen or not. So how we can avoid a risk to happen in that? Okay, so there are some of residual risks that they will remain there forever. For example, if I am a foreign investor here in Pakistan, there is a risk of law and order situation, security, it will remain there for me. But now I need to have a plan. If this risk occurs, how would I comprehend it? For example, when insurance cover. There was a risk. Now, but I have risk mitigation plan. And what is that mitigation plan? Insurance. I have passed on my risk to third party. Okay. And when it comes to communication, a communication plan बनाने आपको. You must have noticed in your organization you work for that every information is not for everyone, and every information is not exchanged daily, and every information is not exchanged annually. So you need to have a plan what to communicate to whom, when, by using which mechanism. Email भेजेंगे, mechanism से email भेजेंगे, phone call करेंगे. Monthly report annually नहीं भेजी जाएगी, monthly report monthly basis पे भेजी जाएगी, ठीक है? और आपकी balance sheet जो होगी वो end of fiscal year के ऊपर भेजी जाएगी. So communication is what to communicate to whom, when, by using which mechanism. This is your communication, this is your risk. Clear?
Yes.
Fair enough? Sir.
And what about the integration?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, integration is putting all the pieces together. Okay, now question me how. I given you an example of making this table, in fact. You have made all the parts, but as long as you have not integrated them, so they are not, in fact, it will not appear as a statement. Okay, for example, particularly talking project management language, so you have plans for all these knowledge areas. You have planned how to do